Okay, this is SuperLab 1. This is a dual-homed VPLS with BGP signaling. So, and we have a normalization of a different VLAN ID here as well. Okay, so we're VPLS, so set interface G003 VLAN tagging, encapsulation flexible Ethernet services, we're unit 601, we're encapsulation VLAN VPLS, and we're VLAN ID 601. So notice here we're encapsulation VLAN VPLS, we're not encapsulation circuit cross connect. Okay then, so we've got our routing instance type VPLS, put in our interface. Here we have our VLAN ID, and it actually normalizes the VLAN from the interface. The interface is 601, VLAN ID and the VPLS is 600, and that will normalize quite nicely. We've got VRF target, then we've got protocols VPLS, got our site range, no tunnel services, which you just have to know about, and then site 1, site identifier 1. We've got the same family of signaling as we do on the layer 2 VPN, so it's family L2 VPN signaling. We need that on the route reflector as well, of course. We've got routing options, route distinguisher ID. Okay, so that's on router 2 here. That's heading up to CE3.1 VPLS. Now we're on router 3. So router 3 is one of our two PEs that are multi-homing CE3.2. We've got router 3 here. We've got router 4. Pretty much identical configuration. Both of them are going to need, obviously, the route distinguisher ID, which they have. They're both going to need the family L2 VPN signaling. So let's have a look at router 3. So it configures very similar to router 2, encapsulation flexible Ethernet services, unit 600, encapsulation VLAN VPLS, remember not the CCC, unit 600, VLAN ID 600. The routing instance is identical. Set routing instance CE3 VPLS, instance type VPLS, interface, VLAN ID, target. We've got site range 8 here as well. No tunnel services. This is site preference primary, which is 65535, and then the other dual connected site is going to be site preference backup, which is a cost of 1. So router 4 and router 3, the site identifier within the VPLS is site identifier 2. This, of course, was site identifier 1. So site identifier 2. This is, as I say, cost of 1. This is cost of 65535. Okay then, so the rest of router 4 is exactly the same. We've got the instance, we've got the VLAN, I've got the interface, the target, protocols VPLS, the site range 8, so they can connect up. There's no tunnel services, which you just have to know. Site 2, site identifier 2, which is exactly the same as the dual connected site here. That's how they know they're on the same site. Multi-homing. If you remember, multi-homing is just designed to prevent black holing. So if, for example, all of the iBGP peers were to fail to a site, then it would stop advertising the packets because, of course, it wouldn't be able to send them out and it would then be black holing. The only other thing that we have here, this is required on all 3 of the PEs because, of course, they're not being a combined learning bridge like eVPN. They're each a separate learning bridge. So here we have the interface MAC limit, the number of MAC addresses. So set routing instances, CE3 VPLS, protocols VPLS, interface MAC limit 100, MAC table size 100, and the default packet action is drop. And there we have it. That's your BGP signaled VPLS dual home site with VLAN normalization.